Welcome! We're live with the Burning Wheel. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? How's life?
Good.
Everything going okay?
Good.
Yeah. I'm so happy that we get to come back to this game because I missed it. As much fun as Savage Tide was last week, I want to get to the climax of this so badly. And it was really great because Jared and I the other day, literally just yesterday, did like a quick mini session to kind of decide like what his character was doing during this time, and it gave me the perfect game plan for like what's gonna happen in this session.
And we should be really afraid, right? Because Jared gave you an idea for
maybe
for a session he wasn't going to be a part of.
Uh-huh.
That's scary.
It really is.
All right.
So yeah, let's go ahead and just kind of do our normal shtick and read off beliefs and instincts and whatnot. So Cantarius, you want to go ahead and start us off with that?
I mean, not really, but if I have to.
Yeah, you really do.
Kidding.
And you can always change these as we go along too if you want to reword them a little bit.
Yeah. Should we? Can the people see all the character sheets and stuff?
For the stream.
On his screen, you should be able to.
Well, I guess I can't click on any. I was gonna say, and we got
As long as
actor
Caleb
pictures for
pulls them
everybody,
up,
but
yeah.
you'd have to go through.
Yeah.
And, all right,
Oh, yeah.
fine.
Quick question: was Dellon there the whole time, or do we need to figure out what he was doing too?
No, we basically figured it out. Okay, so when they left, I'm sorry, when they were interrogating the cultists, and then basically it got to a point where like they weren't gonna tell. Yeah, they interrogated them. They did a horrible job of interrogating. Basically they got them to a point where they wouldn't speak anymore. Like they just failed so many rolls that they just wouldn't talk anymore, and they got all the information they could get out of them. And then it got to the point where like they went off to do something else, and Dellon and Sergio basically took the rest of that session, which was only maybe like an hour or so, learning about the heretics' beliefs, like you wanted to. So I believe I did give you a fate point for that. Yeah.
Oh. Alright. Is that completed, or do I still
Oh, that's a
have-
good point. I'm gonna look at that.
I just said I'll learn what they believe, basically. So.
Right, I will learn.
I mean, I guess it depends on how complete that was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just have you earn it this session, because I think we'll kind of play that out a little bit. Problem is I really need Trevor here for that, because he would be one of the main people figuring out that, and so yeah, he hasn't shown up yet. So I think what we might do is maybe flashback to that. I think what we might do is like have Cantarius and Antonius as characters kind of meet back up with you, and then when Trevor gets here, we'll flash back to that and kind of play out that learning of the heretics' belief scene a little bit. And then this session I'll give you probably a persona for.
But I won't get persona for doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Connor, or actually, let's go ahead and just start with Dellon now, since we can go in order here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. The reason I was starting with you is because I was waiting for David. So
my real question is, why is Cantarius not the blind guy from the Rogue One Star Wars movie? Just why? Hey, he's a blind Chinese guy with a stick.
Well, okay. The reason for that is because Cantarius doesn't look Asian, and we've already established that.
Right.
He definitely favors
Plus,
Serrano.
Hitman is awesome. Okay, fair enough. It's just like it's perfect.
Technically, that actor Stephen Lang played a blind guy in that horror movie. Yep. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's blind in Star Wars too, where he beats people with sticks.
No, I know, but it's not the same. I'm saying the guy I did pick for Cantarius is.
Oh, this act. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Stephen
Lang.
Lang.
Sorry. Anyways, so beliefs. The gods and minds are above ours and are to be trusted above all others. How to learn of the heretics' belief and see if they align. I should just change that because I always add that at the end. It matters for us longer.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's more specific anyway. So, because I will learn of the heretics' belief sounds a little bit kind of like vague.
Kind of vague.
Where learn of the heretics' belief to see if they line up. That's just very specific.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really why he's interested. But okay, so Alphonse will pay for what he did to our sister, but he's useful for now. I'll see he lives to bring us to free his allies.
You might want to rewrite that for this session. Oh, well, maybe not.
Because until we enact the plan in which we trap them all, that's kind of the thing.
Okay. That's fine.
Here, in fact, I'm gonna specify that too. Let's see, until.
Right. Okay.
And then I've been entrusted with the holy task, and I'll keep the reference assigned to it in line. I will assert myself as the head of the group. Instincts never go unarmed under any circumstance. If I'm to kill a man, I'll do it honorably whenever possible, and never leave a word against the holy honor challenged. Character traits: disciplined, faithful, mark of privilege, tonsure, fearless, and then the cultural traits of religious, haughty, and gluttonous.
Cool. And we'll be cool as after. I think when we get to the end of this session, we'll be able to kind of do the trait vote. I think we're to that point where this
And
is
then
the
Jared
end.
and I can vote
So yeah.
auras onto each other.
Well, I think what's actually interesting with Jared's character is we were talking about this last night, and he is thinking about. I mean, he's directly trying to get the faithful trait at this point with the whole Narani thing that's happened with seducing the goddess. So that might be a thing.
Forgot about that.
And he
Now,
he also is interested in getting the gifted trait and maybe getting magic, but we'll kind of see how.
Yeah, I'd like to do that
so.
too. Can you only get one trait at a time?
Yep. At each trait vote, you can vote one trait on and one trait off per character. So
I thought so.
You don't have to.
I need to get believer, and then I want to get believer because I don't know why I don't have that.
That would be such an easy one for you to get. So.
Yeah, and then I'd like to get. I'm hoping by the time we get to the next thing, gifted will apply because I'd like to do that whole thing we talked about.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And then I can get the aura. Jared and I can cheese the auras onto each other. Anyways, sorry. Okay, so that's me.
Cool. Cantarius, tell us who you are.
Finally.
The various ways that I can screw with your character this session.
Oh, can I go first? My character's got an A name. It goes before a C.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Sure. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Cantarius.
I'm leaving.
Why is there an X on your portrait, Josh?
Does it really tell everybody when I mute my microphone now?
That's funny. Yeah,
That's horrible.
It's on a different thing. If you want to, so when we get to the break, I think I might just switch over back to the other thing, because
I can alter the volume. That's really useful.
Yeah, it defaults now. Roll20 defaults to the new audio video thing that they use, which is like.
I'm fine with it. It
Roll20
just means that I can't mute my microphone.
Fine.
That's
Right.
all. Or I can. It'd just be noisy. Oh wait, I have a set like that. It doesn't work.
I could have been through my entire thing by now.
So,
Sorry.
I was hoping that it would. Do the X on my screen a bunch. Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
Oh, so it is my turn now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Absolutely sure.
Yeah.
You sure that when Trevor gets here, you're not going to interrupt me?
I mean, if Trevor's before you in the order, no, I'm kidding. He's not though. Okay. He's the last.
All right.
one.
Anyway, I was spared for a
He's
reason.
an S. So.
That look on your face.
Anyway.
That was hilarious.
I was spared for a reason. I'll administer my own justice. I will spare no one to stop this disease. The staff is the key to figuring out what happened to my son. I will find a way to get it back. I will always do what's right, no matter what anyone thinks. What?
Get it back? Oh yeah, that's right. It disappeared.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Somebody stole it from me.
They stole it from us.
They stole it from us, precious.
It's just not necessarily my precious, so. I
The
want
thing
to
you want to destroy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
literally
proud of-
though, it's the ring.
Yep. So I will always do what's right, no matter what anyone thinks. I will make sure that there's no unnecessary death. If there is a confrontation, I'll make sure the leader decides what to do.
Right.
Always inventing something, never harm a child.
Right. Awesome.
It's really fun making pithy lines that show how my character has changed.
Isn't it
really
cool
is.
though? Yeah, that's one of the things I really like about this system. So, traits, real quick. Just want to read them off real quick.
Oh. You have to go back to it.
What happened?
And now David.
Rabble
David
Rouser,
disappeared.
gifted. What?
David just kind of disappeared. Oh, there you go. He's back. All right, we're good.
Oh,
No,
never mind.
now he's
Okay, all right. So, Rabble Rouser, gifted, dreadful, intimidating, blind, religious, foreign blood, haughty.
Everyone disappeared, so I refreshed. Sorry.
That's right.
You were the one who disappeared.
Everyone disappeared.
Caleb and Connor disappeared, and David's shortly after that.
Oh, we disappeared for you?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, everyone disappeared for me too.
Yeah, go ahead and read those, Connor.
I already
Oh,
did.
you did? Okay, we're good. We're good.
Oh.
Antonius.
Hey.
You're in an interesting mood tonight, Connor.
Yeah.
You sure we don't want to make Connor read his character sheet again?
No, it's fine.
Yes.
I mean, that's what he's been wanting to do the whole time, so...
Yeah.
Just have him read the character sheet for the rest of the night.
Over and over and over. Okay. Beliefs. I want to get my life back, so I will... So... Did I write that, or did you write that? That must be a note.
I don't
Sorry.
think I wrote it.
This has been stubbed. I need to adjust this.
Okay, that's fine.
I want to get my life back. So the first... I want to get my life back. Let's see, how do I word this? Darn, I'm going to come back to this in a moment.
Okay, that's fine, yeah.
Belief number 2. I blame Cantarius for Maddie's death and want him to be punished. Therefore, I will find an excuse to get him into trouble.
I totally deserve that.
Belief 3. I don't want to be a horrible person. Therefore, I will rein in the bloodthirsty impulses of the other members of the party.
Good luck.
Yeah. And then my first belief, something to the tune of, I want to get my life back, so I will follow the orders of this Inquisitor fellow. My current task is catching the remaining heretics.
Right.
What? Say that again?
I want to get my life back.
He's gonna obey the Inquisitors to die.
No, I want to get my life back, so I will play along with what the church is having us do. The current step is to catch the remaining heretics.
Right.
Which is, as far as I remember, even out of character, that's what we were attempting to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
see,
our main
like,
thing.
the connection is kind of unclear at this point. Like, if
So
there are... Yeah, if there...
I'm super confused by it.
It's fine, yeah. Like, and I think maybe the better belief there is maybe just, I will finish the mission. Because, yeah, it's a little ambiguous as to if you need to catch remaining heretics or if this thing is unrelated.
Well, technically, we know that there are at least more of this cult, though I don't know if Jared deigned to share that information with us. She just kind of said it, but
I think
she
he
said,
did.
"Are you from one of the other towns?" And we're like, "Well, that's not good."
Yeah,
but I don't know if he told us that or not.
Yeah, I don't really know.
I assume he would.
I think he did. I don't seem to remember him like actively not sharing that with you.
Mhm.
No, I mean he didn't specifically say it, but he also didn't specifically like say he wasn't gonna say it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay,
Yeah, so
now instincts. If I see something broken, I must fix it. I always believe I am right.
Yes, you do.
And I always have a knife on me. And character traits: broken in, ambitious, cynical, made man, hand-eye coordination, unlucky, and then cultural traits of religious, haughty, and gluttonous.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you actually being able to get back to Lucerta and start like reconnecting with your guild buddies and like see what they're gonna think, because that would be interesting.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then we're gonna meet your wife. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Guess what?
It's gonna be fun.
When we
is
meet
that gonna be
Antonius
the same
again.
city where Maria is?
Yeah, that's all. That's
Is that her name?
Yep, Maria.
Oh, that's gonna go really well.
Definitely. Oh, well, absolutely. It will go fine. I don't know what you're talking about, David. It'll be fine. It's just a simple reunion, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Right.
So yeah.
We'll go on a double date, Antonius. We got this. We'll all die at the end of it, but.
Very true. Yeah, I think where we pick up is Cantarius, Alphonse, and Antonius, basically like walking down the streets of Estal, back towards the prison, back towards that the barracks where all the cultists are kind of like shoved into one prison cell. And I think what happens is the camera follows this, I think, but like Antonius and
Wait, there were
Cantarius.
cameras back then?
We're watching a film in our head.
The hanging microphone comes onto the screen.
oh, sorry. And then you guys burst out laughing, and it's a blooper.
Yeah.
We can't let the dog see the microphone.
It'd be awesome if when we get to the end of this scenario, we like do a reel of bloopers and like.
We'll all dress up like the characters.
Really dumb.
I don't want to dress up like a blind guy.
Wow, that's insulting.
Well, no, I'd have to have something to like make my eyes look.
You just
like
get contacts.
There are
Yeah,
some.
those are expensive.
Hey,
People
not.
see people. Anyways, that's totally
If you're willing to
irrelevant.
sacrifice on comfort, you can get them for fairly cheap.
Yeah.
And if you really don't care about comfort, I mean, wax paper.
I mean, and you're not, it doesn't really matter if you can see or not because you're supposed to be blind. So.
That's a good point.
Anyways, so yeah, we do a thing. The camera does things.
Yeah, so I think we follow the camera as it kind of like stays behind with Alphonse while Cantarius and Antonius kind of like move off. And I'm assuming that you guys are kind of focused on like getting back and sharing the information with the rest of the party and like, figuring out what's going to happen next. Like I remember Antonius has this weird amulet thing, right? Like that he's going to show to everybody.
Magic ball.
Yeah.
What?
It's got to be magic. I have no idea what it is. I'm so...
Strange magic. Anyways.
And
Probably
yeah,
not
so
fine,
I think
but,
the I think the camera just follows Alphonse, and a nun walks up to Alphonse, and I think we just see the nun like hand Alphonse like this letter, and then we cut and it's back to Antonius and Cantarius.
What does his face look like?
He just kind of looks puzzled. And if the camera would have stayed longer with Alphonse, we would have seen a lot more. But as of now, we don't really see a whole lot. Not enough to really understand what's going on.
Okay.
So the what's it called? The prison. Or the barracks is just there as you left it. Cantarius and Antonius walk in. Cantarius, I mean, you're still pretty wounded from
blind.
Yeah, you're still blind, and you're also pretty wounded still from the craziness happened with Liren, the guy who stabbed you.
Yep,
so you're probably not doing the best as of now. But
he made his day, as it were.
Literally.
I was blind, so I didn't see it.
Yeah.
It's still night for me. You made my night.
Yeah, so you enter the barracks, and I mean Sergio and Dellon are kind of like in the they're just finishing up their kind of like interrogation session of like figuring out what the cultist beliefs are and how they line up with like orthodox beliefs. And I mean, I'm guessing.
So just for
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, just for Dellon's composure, does what they say line up with the old Ticoni texts and what he's read and all that stuff too, or at least from his point of view, or would he be like, nah, that didn't really make sense? I mean, because he is already not subscribing entirely to what the modern church says, and he's read the old Ticoni stuff, so. It would probably make more sense to him.
Okay, so since Trevor's not here, let's just go ahead, and I was expecting him to be here at least by now, but let's just go ahead and make that roll, to kind of figure that out. So I mean, what skill would you?
We're making a roll.
Yeah, okay. To kind of figure it out, because I mean, the cultists aren't.
Doctrine.
Well, I mean, no, because this is the thing, like to get the information out of them, in the first place, because they're not super forthcoming with that. And it's not, and obviously, obviously Yuma was, but this is after Cantarius, Antonius, and Alphonse completely botched their interrogation of these people, and said they don't.
I wasn't part of that.
Okay, so Alphonse then, and Cantarius actually.
Oh yeah.
They just botched it.
I wasn't part of that either,
these people just don't want to talk to you anymore, so there's gonna have to be a roll involved to get any more.
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably go specifically to Yuma just because he knows that she's
definitely.
Not only is she like a leader, but she's also was actually interested in talking to him. So
definitely. So yeah, what role are you making here?
I don't really know what I would make. I mean, I can't pre-chatter. That doesn't really make sense.
That's true. I could have Sergio make a roll, just kind of, and you could help him if you want to.
I mean, like, I'd roll persuasion, but I'd probably fail, and like he's not. I don't know.
Sure. I'll just have, because I'm pretty sure Sergio would also want to know this, so I'm just gonna have him go ahead and make a persuasion roll, which you can help if you have something that you think would help?
I don't have anything except suasion that would help. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you can think of something convincing that you could bring up to bear with suasions to get some bonus here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was kind of hoping to use their earlier conversation just to like
right.
Basically make the challenge rating lower in that he's like, I want to know more about what you said.
Sure,
like,
sure.
you know,
yeah, I'll go ahead and just give you an advantage dice for this then. Just because of you're talking to Yuma specifically, and she's a little bit more willing to tell.
I'd also like to specifically, like, if I can, because they're all in one cell, you said, right? Which I imagine must be a pretty big cell. But I was wondering if we could.
It's not. It's really not a big cell, but they're all pretty cramped in there. So.
Okay. Well, see, now this is a little bit playing with fire because Alphonse is trying to convince this girl that he's on her side and that we're gonna do all this stuff. So the fact he's letting her go through all this, like, I hope that doesn't botch the whole plan. But anyways, I'm going to ask the guards to bring her to another, like, a more secluded area, somewhere we can talk that's more comfortable. It's secluded, without swords nearby.
Sure.
And
like swords.
So we're not. I do my sword, but sorry, I saw something else. But yeah, so just so she's not having to talk in front of everybody. Also, can I at some point have gone back and gotten those swords because they were pretty cool?
Sure. I mean, you're a holy knight, so you could just confiscate them as evidence, you know. So
yes,
it's totally a thing you could do.
I have a feeling I might end up giving them back at some point.
Maybe.
Not for a while.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah, so I mean, you can just bring her to, like, I mean, there's been an interrogation room basically that you've been bringing them to, and it's not built for interrogation per se, but it's just this, you know, back room that you've been.
Is there an area we could go that's less, like, you know, accusatory?
Yeah, I mean,
just like
you could just take. Yeah. Sure. I mean, yeah, you could bring them maybe to just the like, because I think we've established at this point that the prison is like this entrance area, and then there's stairs that go down into the prison area, and so you could just bring her up to that, like, first entrance way, and there might be, like, you know, a chair or two that are just kind of sitting there for guards to sit at while they're waiting at the entrance, so you could just, like, sit her down there and talk to her.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah.
Sure.
So yeah. So this is Trevor making a persuasion test, or Sergio rather. And what is the intent exactly? You can kind of, like, decide this for Trevor because he's not here. But what do you think?
Just to have her explain what their beliefs are and stuff. Basically, just at least for Dellon, he wants to be able to have enough information to compare and determine whether or not he thinks that their beliefs have any clout. Whether or not they're, you know, whether it's just random heretic jumbo that came from a prophet that claimed he met some, you know, deity, or if it's actually, like, founded in what he's read of old stuff and newer stuff.
Okay. Sure. So let's just go ahead and make this an ob 4, I think. And Trevor has 5 persuasion, so it's gonna be hard-ish, but not, like, just outright impossible.
Did you say you were gonna give him an advantage dice?
Yep, I already did. So,
yep. Okay, cool.
So let's go ahead and pop over to that.
Pardon me.
Figure it out.
Well, that sucks.
He
did get 1 6.
He did get a 6. So
can I spend my fate on it?
Sure. Yeah.
Since it's his.
Yeah. That's
okay.
just. Well, no. No, I'll have him spend a fate on it. It should be fine.
Okay.
Let's just.
I should have prayed, but darn it. I always forget.
Isn't that always the problem?
Yeah. True that.
Okay, cool, awesome. That's enough successes.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if it would exactly. I mean, so you already know so far that, I mean, that's at least the point of what they're trying to do, is to try to harken back to those old texts and try to, like, be more faithful to them. And I feel like Sergio probably has a lot to offer to the conversation in figuring that out, because he knows the old Taconi texts in some ways better than he knows Orthodox doctrine, because he spent so much time
because
there.
he has a lot of foreign doctrine too, right?
Exactly, yeah. Let me actually look at his specific stats here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of figured that if my character had a high enough doctrine in this, it would kind of bleed over into that just because it's the roots.
Right. Yeah. So it looks like
but probably not as much as his.
Yeah. It looks like he has a 2 in both of them. So he's definitely a lot more versed in philosophy than in doctrine itself.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm more doctrinally strong than he is by a lot.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah. So he's picking up on the philosophical details of all this probably a lot more, and the Taconi details, but not that much because again, like he's more in the area of philosophy than anything. And so yeah, I think you pick up that it could go either way. Like you can and depending on how subjective or how willing to be that's not the right word. How willing to be open-minded about it Dellon is in the interpretation himself, because you could, like a pretty fair-minded, open-minded person like Sergio, for example, would look at that and see that there might be arguments for both sides, that they might be taking it maybe a little bit farther than it was intended to, but if some key interpretations that they kind of bring up of like various scriptures are correct, then it could be like a major blow against the Orthodox Church doctrine as it stands right now.
Yeah.
But a lot of it lies. Okay, go ahead.
Just anything, if it contradicts stuff that he knows has been written recently, he's a lot less likely to have a problem with it than if he knows it's stuff that was written that he thinks is supposed to be inspired, because that's really what he counts on.
And I think most of what they talk about is in kind of conflict with those newer writings rather than any older writings.
I figured. Yeah.
But it's still up to interpretation whether or not their interpretation of those old scriptures is correct. So yeah,
it just sounds so complicated.
It is. It really is complicated.
So much subjectivity in that one sentence.
Yeah. So much subjectivity. And there's not really a good way to figure that out without either kind of going back to the source historically and kind of figuring out what the context of those things were more than either you or Trevor or Sergio actually know about, or just getting like a divinely inspired answer straight from the unknown God himself, so
you should try for that.
Okay, yeah, I could pray.
You guys, yeah.
What do I need to? That's like a 6 though, isn't it? Guidance, or whatever.
Guidance? Yeah, that'd be 6, I believe, for you.
I'd have to roll all of my dice. I mean, I know it's open-ended, but...
It is open-ended.
Can I try? I mean, I can't just not to.
Definitely. Yeah.
Other than making you mad, I guess.
You may do that,
Oops.
definitely.
Never know, I might get lucky. What? Or it could not roll. Wow, that was horrifying.
Oh, well, yeah. So I think what happens is So always before when you pray normally to the unknown God, there's always, and I think you haven't really noticed this in full effect until now, but there's always been this like feeling that has happened whenever you prayed. Like this sense of like just a slight like yes, no, like you can just can feel like some sort of like touch on your spirit. Yeah, like a nudge of some sort. But this time you feel nothing. Like and you notice that absence in a way that you haven't noticed the presence. So.
Okay.
And so whatever Dellon would interpret that as, like.
Yeah. I mean, has that ever happened before?
No. Not that you can remember, at least. But again, like, what it is kind of right now is that you haven't really noticed the presence of it until now. At least consciously.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean that's basically what you kind of figure out. You figure out it's up in the air, it's subjective. They could be right, but I mean you're as a holy knight of the church, you're sworn politically at the very least to kill these people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of what how we find Dellon. Whatever he would be feeling about all of that. That's kind of what we find Dellon stewing about when Cantarius and Antonius walk into the barracks. So Cantarius and Antonius, what do you kind of do or say, or Dellon? I mean, whoever would respond first to that. So I think Sergio's in the corner, like making notes of everything that like you guys figured out, and just kind of like stewing on it. So.
Yeah.
And I walk in and I see.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry.
The heretic still there.
Yeah. I don't think the heretics that they were specifically talking to, that they probably put her back in the cell, but like yeah, the heretics are there.
Okay.
So,
I'm trying to remember precisely what all we wound up with.
Right.
Last game.
I mean, so I mean, Dellon, I don't think you know where they went. So if you want to just kind of like ask them.
Did they inform me that they were going anywhere? Or did they just?
I don't really think so. No, I don't really think so.
All right. So I think he's kind of like thinking, because it's weird that he doesn't have that, he didn't have that connection when he was praying, and also that he's mulling over all these inconsistencies, checking other verses in his mind, like that. Right. And he sees him and he kind of double takes. He's like, "Where were you guys? Where did you get off to?"
Was Cantarius did Cantarius elect to come with us from the prison, or did we find him while we were out? I can't remember that.
No. Yeah, you all went together. You all decided to go together.
Okay, yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. We went off and we searched the mayor's quarters to find connections.
Did you find anything? I searched his quarters before and I didn't come up with much.
We found this, and I hold up the amulet. Do you recognize it? Because I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, so Dellon, you see this. Yeah, you see this amulet, and it's it has just this chain like where where it would go around your neck. It just looks like kind of like normal steel or silver, one of those two probably. And then there's this like it's like a little pocket mirror almost, and there's like this. It doesn't like fold out or anything like that. Like it's just this pendant with like a mirror in the middle, like a small like circular little piece of mirror, and engraved around it is this like silver dragon that kind of like is curled around the mirror, and yeah, so that's what you notice. I mean, if you want to make a doctrine check, you could try to figure out something about it, but I mean, Antonius actually knows something about it, so he could tell you what he discovered.
Right,
but it actually does depend. Yeah, because Antonius, are you just kind of like asking him for his own like objective opinion, just based on?
I want his impression, first impressions of it first.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So what's the difficulty?
Yeah, on the doctrine roll, probably about a 3.
Why is it taking so long to roll? Okay. Oh, never mind. There we go. Oh, yes.
Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, you have a good doctrine. So, yeah. I mean, you recognize right away that the dragon, though normally normally I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Normally connected
associated?
Associated. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Normally associated with the dragon gods of like the dragon blood, like the reptilian creatures. Like Dagoth's, and stuff like that.
Oh, I was about to say, he was the lizard in this one?
No, he's not.
Wait.
Normally associated with them because, I mean, those are their gods, and dragons are nothing if not those gods. Like, that is the only physical representation of actual dragons in this world. But Serrano culture has kind of assimilated because they're pretty nearby to the old. I mean, they're living literally directly on old Dragonblood Empire territory. And so there are ruins around that they can, point to, and there are also Dragonbloods kind of around that they could, they've kind of got a little culture from, at least, and they've kind of assimilated that symbol of the dragon to basically be the devil in popular Serrano culture.
Oh, nice.
So that's what you notice right away, is that, okay, that's the common symbol that people would use for the devil in this in doctrine. It's obviously not, like, I think that any doctrine that you've read is obvious, or is clear to point out that this is not a physical representation of what the devil actually looks like, or what, like, this evil presence that supposedly...
Are you sure?
Yes. that supposedly, like, opposes the great god looks like, but they've used it as a symbolic thing to kind of get across the deadly nature of the devil, basically. So
okay.
Other than that, I mean, that's the only religious significance you can point to.
Okay. So now that wouldn't be my brain. So that's not the kind of thing that I would expect. Like, if someone has an amulet of that, we assume that they were intending it to be of, depicting that, right? Like, there's no reason that someone would be like, "Oh, a dragon."
In Serrano culture, yeah. Basically, like, especially here, like, it might be foreign. I mean, you don't know enough about metals and whatnot to know, like, where it comes from per se, or like what the craftsmanship points to, but
him having it, I assume, means that, right? Like,
it should.
Just thought it
like,
was cool.
there's not really another reason.
Okay.
In Serrano,
so I think he just kind of goes, a depiction of the void. I'm not surprised. Where did you find that?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It was located underneath the mayor's mattress in the center of his bed. Well hidden.
He just nods and he's like, "That's also suspicious." And then he just kind of, "Did you find anything else?" Because he doesn't know anything else about the amulet. So.
What else did we find anything else of import?
Like, find anything else as in things in the mayor's office?
That's right. We did notice. We found. Oh yes. Did we bring the papers with us?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Or the journal, or what?
Yeah.
The diary written in legalese. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Like an actual diary, or?
More or less.
Sure what it is. I can't really understand any of it.
Right.
Here, you want to take? Take a crack at understanding this.
Yeah, and again, like, Alphonse's character did manage to get some of it from just the way that he understands that nobles speak. But again, there's a legal language involved here that none of the characters who were there reading it understood and could really. But I think you might be more familiar with that, so if you want to take a crack at it, that's definitely.
I don't have any skills like that, as much as I probably should. That wasn't like an option.
It would just be reading. Is really what it would be.
Oh, okay. Well, I can do that.
It would just be a read test.
I can read.
Yep.
How difficult was it? Or was it graduated?
Yeah, it was a graduated test. So.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I don't remember what they said it was. But... I succeeded. I got a 2.
Okay, I mean, I think you understand a little bit more about what it kind of means, but, you understand legal language to some extent, but were you specifically involved in legal procedures a whole lot?
I mean, apparently not, because I have no legal wise or law or anything like that.
Yeah, so I think you understand passively, kind of, what he means by this.
No.
Hey, Trev.
Hey!
But you don't really grasp it as much as you should, and I think what you kind of come up with is basically just what what Jared's character had already come up with anyway, except via a different route. So Alphonse had kind of figured out that there were some insinuations that he had taken an interest in the Abyss, close to about, that he had slowly started taking an interest in the Abyss more and more over a course of like several months. And the last portions kind of insinuate that they might have been sleeping together. But this is Alphonse's interpretation from a successful role, kind of like of just how nobles write things, just from that's the angle he was coming from. But I think actually what happens here, Dellon, I think what actually happens here is because you're passively familiar with legal language. I think what actually happens is that you get to this portion and you realize that he is totally insinuating that he slept with the Abyss in a very vulgar way. And the reason that Alphonse didn't catch it is because
he insinuate it. Okay, that you're about
just
to
wait. Yeah, I'm about to explain it. The reason that Alphonse didn't catch it is because he's using a legal term as a pun to insinuate like basically like screwing her kind of a thing, like that kind of thing. Yeah. Except some legal term that would.
Oh, great.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop trying to think of one. All right.
We don't. That's why I took this.
Trevor, David.
I gotta look up legal terms.
No.
Well, I like legal stuff. So as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can think of one. I was like, why am I doing that? That's not good.
Yeah, don't.
Should not try that.
No.
Anyways, yeah. So that's great. Well, now the Abyss is in trouble too. But okay. I think I might keep that information to myself for now. So you said specifically that you didn't understand it, right? Josh?
Oh yeah, no. I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
Okay. So I think he holds it up after getting to that part, and he's like, so none of you knew what this said?
No. Should we?
Alphonse didn't share with you? I mean, out of character, Alphonse didn't share that with your character?
I think
he did. He did. He shared it.
Okay, but I don't know that he specifically shared that.
No, and exactly. Yeah, he didn't. He just kind of said, hey, just kind of insinuating that. That's all we could get from it. So, yeah. I don't think Alphonse actively tried hiding anything from the last time. So.
Then not from what we could. Yeah, out of character, not from what I could tell.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think he hands it back. He's just like, well, not that it surprises me much, but this insinuates he was having relations with the Abyss. So I think we might need to speak to her again. And now we have even more on him. Not that we really require more, but it all helps. He's like, was there anything else or anything about? Was there anything about the amulet your character didn't say? I mean, he wouldn't know that, but.
Well, I guess we kind of moved on before I could. I mean.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think how. Yeah, I mean the conversation did kind of move on from that, but yes, there is more. But.
Yeah. Okay, well that's fine. If we didn't get to it, that's cool. It'll come up later. And it'll be humorous. So I think
you never asked.
Yeah. Why did you? No, you didn't tell me. Like, no, you did. We moved on. Yeah. So I think he hands it back and he's like, "Well, good job. I'm just impressed you guys found this. When I didn't. Not that I have any skill in that, because I don't have any kind of.
It's just because Dellon's an arrogant person. That's why he's so.
No, I don't have an investigation skill. How do I not? All right. Anyways.
It's observation. Remember.
Oh yeah.
And you just learned that.
And I guess
because you were observing things a lot.
Yeah. I think the path, like the life path in the actual book, meant more like soldier than. I don't think I expected it to be investigating. So.
Yeah. That was kind of something we had added later in the fiction, so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Plus, I don't know if they had a holy knight investigator in there anyway.
Not really.
Yeah. So he hands it back and he says, "Every little bit helps. That's good. Is this all you guys did? Just went to Did you do anything else while you were gone? How long were they gone?
So it was about an hour or two. I think what happens is we gotta do a flashback, and I don't know if you guys are actually gonna tell him this in character, but we do a flashback to them like ransacking the mayor's office and stealing his money, and then we cut back.
No, and the bird.
Oh right, and then the bird, all that stuff.
Wait, you stole a bunch of money and a bird. Can I see any of this?
I didn't steal a bird. No, the bird tried to steal the amulet from me.
Oh.
What? A hawk flew in the window and tried to. Yeah.
Trained falcon.
Wow. Alright, so are you holding all of this money? Can I see it? Or did you stash it somewhere?
That's actually a good point. I'm trying to remember, what exactly did you find that I thought it was some sort of stuff that you could sell. So I think let's assume that you guys basically just went to the market and like sold it to some pawn shop guy and got the money already. So yeah, like you just have kind of heavy purses right now. So
are they just holding big bags of money?
No, they aren't. Like it's a minor, like it's one cash die each. So it's like a handful of money kind of a thing.
Well, now see the thing is that they went from having no money to money.
You can make it. I mean, okay, so it depends.
Yeah,
Antonius has had money. Cantarius.
That's true.
Cantarius hasn't really. Alphonse is not here at this moment, so.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't notice that. I don't think just seeing Cantarius' money would be enough to set that up.
Yeah.
But,
so.
I don't think he assumed that he picked anybody's pop.
Exactly. So,
yeah, I probably begged.
So we cut back from that like scene of
Hey.
ransacking and stuff like that.
Hey, beggars
cut
gotta
back.
That's still.
Cut back and see like Antonius and Cantarius' face. Did they like give each other a glance, or like did they just like stonewall like poker face, or what?
I think you'd probably give each other a glance. Oh wait.
All right. Okay, so I think what happens is Antonius kind of glances at Cantarius, but Cantarius just
and I glance the other way.
Yeah, I mean it's up to you.
You're like, what?
It's up to you, Josh.
I glance at Dellon. Like, wait.
You're like, yeah, you know what we did, and I'm like, what's wrong with your face?
But yeah, Antonius, obviously it's up to you if whether or not you want to glance at someone or whatnot.
What's wrong with my face? I'm blind. Man, how dare you? Racist.
Anyway.
Well, I think Cantarius found some money.
His brow arches. He's like, found.
I begged. It found me.
He looks back at.
I'm blind. How can I find money?
Yeah, he looks back at Antonius like skeptically. Like, what?
If only I was in character right now.
You said if only you were in character?
Yeah.
Why are you not in character?
I'm just making jokes about me being blind. So I can get away with stealing money.
So how does Cantarius actually respond to that then?
I don't know.
Did you just not say anything?
Like, yeah, probably not.
He just stonewalls. He just kind of stares off into the distance.
So yeah, then I look back at when I say found like in a questioning manner and he doesn't say anything. I look back at Antonius like, what do you mean found? Like I know he didn't look at it. Like what do you mean found?
Right.
Name. Sorry, it means you cross-reference information. Alphonse. Why can't I remember that name?
It's okay.
Just remember the guy who's brothers with Edward.
Mm-hmm.
From Fullmetal Alchemist. Hey, sorry, go ahead.
I mean, that only helps if you're really familiar with that show.
I mean, that's true, but I am.
But you should be really familiar with that show.
You should be, yeah, that's the thing. Anyway.
Ouch.
Yeah, so what does he say?
I need to think on my feet, but I can't because I'm sitting down.
You can make a roll and do it. Nice, that was good.
That's true. I could just make a roll and then...
You could. And you just say, I say something brilliant.
There we are, yes. I'll say something
Tripped
brilliant.
over it and heard it, and then he picked it up.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, this would literally be a falsity roll. So
Well, essentially, I'm just trying to push blame off onto Cantarius and now also Alphonse because
Right.
Really, the
it's like-
blind guy?
Right.
Yeah, the blind
I mean,
guy.
yeah, really the blind guys. So, yeah. As I think about it, the more I think about it, the more
I had no
transparent it
accomplice
becomes.
whatsoever.
Cantarius is gonna take this. I want to brawl, man. Come on.
That's because you can win. Well, I guess.
No, I can't. I have
as long
no.
as there's not a sword
I
involved.
only have 3 dice in brawling. Yeah.
I
I
have
hit
6.
you with the back of my sword. I used a flat, so I can use my sword.
And not kill me.
Yeah, exactly. I only have 3 brawling, so. Yeah. And it's not gray.
Yeah, I literally don't have anything I can use to help me in this particular instance.
Just roll untrained. Falsehood.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, are we like investigating the mayor and stuff now then?
They actually did that
Yeah,
last
so-
session. So yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
they
They found a pendant with the commonly used like image for the devil, which is apparently like a dragon, or the chaos, I guess, which is a dragon. And then they also found a book which is in very dense legal language,
Wait.
but my character understood
Hold
enough to understand that he was sleeping with the abbess. So,
Okay.
or at least insinuating that he was. What's up, Connor?
So Satan means dragon in this world.
no,
This was
just it's a symbolic
Serrano
representation
thing.
visually for the devil in Serrano culture, very specifically.
Okay. So technically, Dungeons and Dragons really is evil because it's hell and Satan.
Good thing we're not playing
That's
Dungeons and Dragons.
perfect.
We're playing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
playing Burning Wheel. Oh no, Burning! No.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the wheel inside the wheel, right? Like that's a good thing. Anyways, I don't remember exactly how that depiction goes. Anyways, totally forgot. Oh yeah, I was just So basically, I found that in his the amulet was hidden under his bed, and then I don't know where the diary was, but that wasn't great either. So.
It was in a chest.
Yeah.
And we
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you guys
I thought I
broke
looked through
into
that
his
chest.
house?
Uh-huh.
Well, he was under arrest. They just went there.
Mm-hmm.
I actually already
Under
searched this
arrest?
place, but I have no searching
Wait, you
stuff, so I
arrested
didn't
the
really
mayor?
have, Yeah, we arrested
Oh,
him
okay,
at
that's
the. Oh yeah, you weren't there for that either.
Oh, wait, really?
We
Yeah, Trevor
got
wasn't there
the
at all.
guards
2
to
sessions
arrest
ago.
both of them because they were both criminals, and then their guards to arrest them because Alphonse rolls gray dice, and and then we brought them back and haven't done anything except I guess they went through his stuff.
Nice.
But yeah,
So let's go ahead and actually before we do any rolling here, let's go ahead and just take our first break here because the stream's being really weird and I want to kind of like reset things and kind of refresh things a little bit. And so let's just go ahead and take a break. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. Stick around. We got more Burning Wheel to come. I think there's like 1 person watching this right now, unless it's one of you guys. So.
Not me.
Yeah, it's cool. Awesome. So someone's watching it.
Woo!
All right. We'll be right back.
okay.